wananchi wa Timao hamjambo. Mugeni. Nataka kuwauliza kitu moja kabla sijaanza kuzungumza. Unajua watu wanafikiri eti sisi ndio tunatembea Kenya tukiongea mambo ya one term. Mimi nataka kujua kama hapa mko namna gani. Harambee! Harambee! Munasemaje Timao? Eti namna gani? Basi wamesikia wale ambao wanafikiri eti sisi tunasema peke yetu. Wananchi, nataka mnipee dakika 3 hivi kwa sababu tumesimama hapa na mimi nawashukuru hawa ndugu zangu wote.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MJR YouTube channel for today's political analysis. Let me talk about the opposition dilemma. There is a crisis which is looming in the opposition. You know, at first, the opposition leaders, they thought that they could ride on each other's back. But now things are turning out opposite or contrary to the expectation of some. And that is why you are starting to see the infight among the principle of the united opposition, or their troops are fighting amongst themselves. But let me start by saying this. Recently, Fred Matiangi visited Meru County, Isiolo, and Laikipia. And in Meru, he was hosted by Peter Munya, the PNU party leader. And the meeting was very successful. And as you all know that currently, Fred Matiangi has not announced the political party which he is going to use. And we know the relationship between Matiangi and Munya. During their time as cabinet secretaries in President Uhuru Kenyatta's government, Matiangi and Munya were bulldozers. And Munya was brought in lately after the 2017 general election. And he replaced Mwangi Kiunjuri in agriculture ministry. And he did a good job. And at that time, Munya was a fierce critic of William Ruto. And Matiangi was a de facto prime minister and a very powerful CS of interior during that time. And everyone knows who Matiangi is and the kind of work he did during his time. He may have his faults as a human being during his tenure. And we know how they were good friends and they campaigned for Raila Odinga against William Ruto. So they are reuniting again in the bid to oust President William Ruto from the office. So he went to visit his friend, who was his host, Peter Munya. But I want you to listen to what lawyer Ndegwa Njiru, who is a very close associate of Rigathi Gachagua currently, what he said in a Gikuyu language.
Matiangi ni project ya thirikari.
What do you mean?
Is a state project. Tondu ginya hype.
Okay.
Urikana rego atwikire ati reko na Gen Z wa mambiro maki hype makiuga Gen Z ne leaderless, partyless, na leaderless, partyless na tribeless. Magicoka makiambiria ku hype Gen Z ni mara embrace Matiangi. Ino ni creation ya nyamwite wa NIS. National Intelligence Service. Nigetha agayanie opposition.
Okay.
Now, Before I analyze something, let me tell you that we are so grateful to our subscribers. And whoever is coming across this channel for the first time or our videos, my appeal to you is just please take a moment, a minute or two to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because this is where we do analysis without any bias. Our analyses are based on facts which can be traced from valid sources. Now, from what lawyer Ndegwa Njiru say, I'm not a Gikuyu, and maybe you are not a Gikuyu, but you can pick some few words which can help you to drive a point and to try to get the information or what lawyer Ndegwa Njiru was saying. Lawyer Ndegwa Njiru, from the statements, he is saying that Matiangi is a state project, a statement that should not come out of the mouth of a person of that caliber who is also in the camp of Rigathi Gachagua. Remember, Rigathi Gachagua had said at some point that they are going to work together nevertheless. But meanwhile, each aspiring candidate should go and mobilize his support base in preparation of their grand unveilment of the candidate. And once the right time comes, they will sit together and decide depending on the numbers. And I don't think that in any of those statements, each one of them was restricted to his ethnic background. It was upon each one of them to talk to Kenyans from all walks of life, from every nook and cranny, where he or she feels that they can get support. So when Ndegwa says that Matiangi is restricted to only mobilize his support from Nyanza region, he is misguided. There is no any article in our constitution that says that whoever wants to vie for presidency must first of all get endorsement from his ethnic brethren. So I believe that Ndegwa Njiru's statement is misguided. Matiangi's kinsmen are Kenyans, not Kisis or Luos of Nyanza. Matiangi is a Kenya and he has a right to seek support from every part of this country without asking from anyone's permission. And this is a clear indication that Matiangi has shaken the mountain. Matiangi has shaken different camps. Because look at that rally that he did in Timau. Look at the kind of crowd he pulled without Rigathi Gachagua, without any key leader from that region, without any elected leader from that region. He managed to pull that crowd. So I think this is what has gone deep into Gachagua's followers or Gachagua's supporters' mind, that look, this guy is capable of pulling this kind of crowd without your support. Therefore, we need to stop him. We need to tell him that he is crossing the boundaries. He is overstepping. That Mt.Kenya is your stronghold, and it is your backyard, it is your bedroom, and no one else is allowed to invade that vote-rich area. You know, this is how William Ruto did to Uhuru Kenyatta. When Uhuru Kenyatta thought that at the right time he will make a call and he will give instruction to the direction in which people will vote, it was too late when he brought Raila Odinga on board. People did not vote for him, but people listened to William Ruto and those few leaders from the mountain who supported William Ruto. So they are fearing that if at all Matiangi is allowed to continue on that trajectory, he might take away the support Rigathi Gachagua is enjoying. Because truth be told, if you talk to the people of the mountain, 8 out of 10 will tell you that they can't vote for Rigathi Gachagua as a president. But currently, they would prefer a Matiangi ticket for presidency in 2027. That is in their heart, just as it was during 2022 general election. William Ruto was in their heart, regardless on what many people were thinking, that Uhuru Kenyatta has given instruction that they campaign for Raila Odinga. And you can remember most of political leaders, the most experienced one, like Maina Kamanda, David Murathe, name them, they supported Raila Odinga, but they failed with him, like Peter Munya, remember the legend who has never lost election, Kiraitu Murungi, also was defeated just simply because he supported Raila Odinga. So this time around, there is a feeling that Rigathi Gachagua's party or those who are around him are feeling that Fred Matiangi might go with the mountain. But that one aside, the reason why I think there's a problem in opposition, Eugene Wamalwa's statement during the anniversary of his brother, from the late Vice President Michael Kijana Wamalwa, say that if the opposition is not united, William Ruto will defeat them very easily, and I agree with him. And I agree with him in the following reason. In the sense that there is some kind of entitlement within that opposition. Remember, the historians and those who were there in 1992 after multi-party, Kenneth Matiba, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, Martin Shikuku, Paul Mwite, name those key leaders who are there then, were in the same camp with one agenda, to oust Moi. Like now the opposition have only one assignment, to send Ruto home 2027. But they couldn't go as a united opposition under one party. Remember the Ford split into Ford Asili and into Ford Kenya. And remember what causes the split is that when Matiba landed in Kenya from abroad, he was received from the airport and led to some destination. And it is said that the crowd that received him from the airport was a massive crowd. And this sank deep into his head and convinced him that indeed he is more popular than Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, and he have a chance and a better opportunity to win against Moi as compared to Jaramogi was a bit old. And Kikuyus were around and behind Matiba. And this caused Matiba to ignore and split the opposition, the party. And what happened? He did not win. Moi won. So today we are also speaking at a time when Rigathi Gachagua also came from abroad and instructed his party to mobilize for his supporters to receive him at the airport for that grand and triumph entry into this country after more than 1 month visit to the United States. So there already is that feeling of some kind of bullying and entitlement. some leaders are feeling that they are more favored than others. They are more likely to win over others in the next election. So if this thing is not addressed, the opposition is most likely to repeat the mistakes that has been made before, and we know the outcome or the repercussion of such kinds of mistakes. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking your time, and may God bless you.